Paying respects to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is the founder Acharya of International Society of Krishna Consciousness. He is the one who is helping us to understand this Bhagavad Gita from Sanskrit to English. So we are eternally indebted to Srila Prabhupada. Our objectives always, when we keep our objectives has to be clear. This is my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, and I pay my respects to him. Our objectives are to learn the basics as well as to understand the important shlokas, and most important thing whenever we learn is to how to apply in our daily life. That is what we are focusing on, right? So Bhagavad Gita has total 18 chapters. First 6 chapters we are learning about karma yoga, then we learn about bhakti yoga and jnana yoga. So first chapter we learned about lamentation of Arjuna. Arjuna's lamentation is because he is too much attached to material attachments and ignorance about the life, because life is beyond body, right? Our attachments are because of the body. We identify ourselves with the family, with the friends, with the possessions because of the body. But Lord Krishna says that you are much more than the body, right? So that is called as Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga helps us to understand that we are actually, our identity is Atma. Atma is the soul. And we are going to leave this body one day or other and then transfer to another body like that. And so we should all use our intelligence, which is called as buddhi, and with the intelligence we use our body and use this body for yoga. Yoga means uniting with supreme consciousness. So that is the purpose of the whole yoga, Bhagavad Gita, is that using the intelligence so that we can unite with supreme, and that is the Sankhya Yoga. So Sankhya Yoga tells us that body and soul are distinct, and soul is the active principle, while the body is the instrument through which we are currently trying to approach. Instrument means like a vehicle. Vehicle helps us to travel. Similarly, this body is helping us to go near to Krishna, and that is the whole purpose. With the intelligence we should travel. If you travel randomly you will get lost, but if you have the direction GPS, then you can travel properly. So this body is to take Atma towards Paramatma, and that is the ultimate purpose of this body. If we misuse this body and we just like care for the body and nothing about the soul, just doing the sense gratification, controlling the senses. We all learned about that in the third chapter and in the fourth chapter also. Second, third, fourth chapter, Lord Krishna is telling constantly about the sense control, sense control, sense control. That is actually, which means that something which is misdirecting us, like something which bewilders us, is the external attractions. So the purpose of our human life is to travel inside, but with the senses we are traveling outside. You understand? So that's why we are misdirected. Uh, so Paramatma is inside, and we are trying to find outside. That is the problem. So that is what. So we try to find happiness from eating, from sleeping, from movies, from the, all the senses. Eyes are, we want to be happy by watching a movie. We want to be happy by hearing some music. We want to be happy by eating. But actually, all those happinesses are very temporary and flickering, which means that today you like this, tomorrow you like something different. That's how it is. But then real happiness is inside. So Lord Krishna is saying that, just divert away from the sense gratification and try to go inside, then you will be properly happy. It's just like here in the picture we talked about caring for the cage. More you care for the cage, less you care for the bird. You should care more for the bird rather than the cage. So that is the Atma. So that is all about Sankhya Yoga. And then in third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord explains about karma. And karma is work. Work under the influence of three modes of nature and the time. But this work has to be performed for sacrifice, and for satisfaction. Of whom? Satisfaction of Krishna. So work has to be performed as a sacrifice for Krishna. Otherwise, yagnartha karmano anyatra lokayam karma bandhana. Otherwise, it becomes the cause of sinful reaction. Uh, and then Arjuna says, okay, Krishna, you're talking about this, that if you do not perform the karma for the yagna, then it becomes a cause of sinful reaction. Then what are the causes of sins? Sorry. So Krishna says that it is the lust, anger, and greed. Kama esha, krodha esha, rajaguna samudbhava. So kama, krodha, which arises from Rajoguna. So this is the thing, if you really want to click here, the key thing is Rajoguna. It is the Rajoguna which will give rise to Kama and Krodha. So if you really want to stay out of trouble, then try to go for the Sattva Guna. Then Kama and Krodha will never enter. Because that's the door from which enters. Kama Esha, Krodha Esha, but how it is entered? Rajoguna Samudbhava. So as long as you try to eat health, sattvic food, food in the mode of goodness, you try to have a friendship who is sattvic, you try to associate with the people who are in the mode of goodness, you try to have the entertainment which is goodness. You have a choice, we all have choices, and it all depends upon what choice we make. It is up to us. So Lord Krishna then further explains to Arjuna, as we talked about, that controlling the senses. Indriyani manobuddhir asya dhishthanam uchyate. So intelligence is higher than mind, and mind is higher than senses. But this intelligence has to be purified. And how do you purify the intelligence? By putting intelligence with Paramatma, with Super Soul. So that is what Bhagavad Gita is all about. So Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Paramatma, Krishna, Bhagavan. So when we put our buddhi in Bhagavan, then our intelligence buddhi is purified. If you put your intelligence in the garbage, it will become a garbage. If you put intelligence in good, your intelligence will become good. So you have choice. Krishna has given you some independence, like small babies, just newborn, they have no choices. They do what parents want. But when the babies grow like his age, then they have a choice. And we all have a choices. What is our choice? We go either up or down. That's it. We are in the middle now, and we have to decide whether we want to go up or down. So, sense control is one of the way, but you can control the senses by higher test. If you want to give lower test, then you have to have a higher test. Right? So that higher test is bhakti. If you try artificially control the senses, it is not possible. Like we learned about Vishwamitra Rishi trying to control the senses artificially, he got attracted with Menka, right? So artificially you say, I will not see, I will not do, I will not do, it will not go to work. Because how long can you control? Sometimes, people they fast. In certain festivals, people do fasting. But after fasting, they eat twice. Anybody got an experience? Yeah, during fasting also yes, that's correct. They say you're supposed to eat, say, dry fruits. Okay, they will eat 10 times more dry fruits. Or say you're supposed to eat fruits. Okay, I'll eat all the fruits as much as I can. So, there is a Eid festival, Ramjan festival, and then they fast from morning to evening, and then evening after sunset, like people are eating like crazy. So what is that called as? It's called artificially controlling. It's not possible. Everybody has tried artificially, but everybody has failed. So how you can do it? Diverting it to the good cause, to the proper cause, right? So when you fast it for Krishna, then it will increase your boost. Oh, I'm doing it for Krishna. Then it has a different purpose, right? So like we learned about Hanumanji. Hanumanji is anger. Anger is not good, but he said, okay, I will use anger only if somebody is doing some wrong things for my worshipables or my respectables. So then Hanumanji used it when Ravana started attacking Ramachandra ji, like that. So we have to channelize it. That is the only way to control the senses. You cannot keep your eyes always closed, can you? You go blind then. But you can use your eyes for looking at deities or reading Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. You cannot keep your ears closed. You cannot keep your tongue closed, right? Can you keep your tongue? Can you keep quiet for all the time? This is called Mauna Vrata. Mauna Vrata means they say, okay, I will not talk. But how can you not talk for a longer time? You will have to break the silence one day or other. Can you stay without talking for whole life? I'll give you $1 million. Don't talk whole life. So no, I don't want $1 million because I can't survive without talking. Is that correct? You see, this is an essential part, right? Talking. Imagine, sometimes back we challenged a little girl that can you keep quiet for 10 minutes? I'll give you ice cream. Immediately she started talking because we need talk, right? So how do you use the talk for? Talk only about Krishna consciousness. Talk only about positive things in the life. Then that is as good as controlling, right? So that is what Lord Krishna is saying, that we should control our senses, right? And then we learned about fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where we learned the history of Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna said that I spoke this Bhagavad Gita to son called Vivashwan, to Ishwaku, to Manu, and the Manu to Ishwaku. So, but then the science is getting lost. The purpose of this is that if we do not read Bhagavad Gita, it will get lost. It is our duty. See, if you know Bhagavad Gita, you can tell it to your children, your next generation. But if you don't read, then you can't forward, right? So that's what exactly happened. And then Lord Krishna explained to Arjuna about his transcendental nature, that Lord Krishna is not an ordinary person like all of us. He is a transcendental personality. He is the source of everything, and that is going to get confirmed more when we learn Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Lord Krishna reveals his identity. This is a brief revelation of Lord Krishna about himself, but more we'll learn about Lord Krishna's identity in Bhagavad Gita, chapters 7 to 12. Okay, but then Lord Krishna talks about karma. Karmano hi api bodhavyam cha vikarmana, akarmanascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gati. So here, this is a very important shloka of Bhagavad Gita where Lord Krishna talks about gahana karmano gati. Gahana means deep. It's very deep. So to understand the actions and reactions of karma is very difficult actually. Sometimes you can perceive the results of your karma immediately, but sometimes it takes really long time. So Lord Krishna is saying Gaharmana Karmano Gati. So there are three types of karmas. One is karma, second is vikarma, and third is akarma. So what is this? So karma means, can you read loudly for all of us?
Karma, word for which one incurs subsequent reactions, material activities.
Yes. So all the material activities, we go for a job, or we do cook the food, or we clean space, everything, whatever the services we are doing, material activities, they are called as karmas. Karma means good activities for your own personal self, or for the family, or some or other you want to get happiness out of it. It's a good activities. These are called karmas. Okay, vikarma. Can Gaurav read loudly for all of us?
Work performed against scripture,
Directions.
sinful acts.
So karma means good activities. Uh, Vikarma means bad activities, sinful activities, like killing somebody, or cheating somebody, or gambling, or like that, those activities, right? So that's vikarma. So karma is good activities, vikarma is bad activities, and there is a third one which is called akarma activities. Can Anaga read?
Before which one suffers no reaction, no action.
So akarma means performing activities for Krishna. So cooking vegetarian food is a good karma, but doing good karma for pleasure of Krishna. like giving some donation, that is karma, which means that you will get good result, pious activities. But giving a donation uh, of Krishna Prasad, or keeping Krishna in the center, that Krishna, I am able to do this because of your blessing. So then giving all credits to Krishna, that is called akarma, right? The analogy can be like if a soldier uh, acting on behalf of government, uh, and he goes for the fighting, then he doesn't get any reaction for killing because he is not punished. He is given a medal because he acted on behalf of government. But the same soldier, if he kills a civilian without authority, then he is punished, right? So same thing, so you do all activities under the authority of Krishna, but all activities means good activities, all your duties. Soldier's duty is to work, a doctor's duty is to serve the patient, or a teacher's duty is to teach others, or engineer's duty is to help others, like that. All activities doing under the guidance of Lord Krishna's teaching, or giving credits to Krishna, that is called akarma. So that is the akarma thing. So whatever work we are doing in our life, this word akarma is very important, because this karma gives you good reactions, so you have to take birth again to enjoy. Vikarma gives you bad reactions, so you have to take birth again to suffer. But akarma does not give any reaction, so this will be your last chance. Then next time you don't have to take birth again. You get the point? Our birth and death is because of our karma and vikarma. But when we do akarmas and give everything to Krishna, then we have no balance. When you have no balance, then no more taking the birth again, because then you go back to Krishna Loka, Golok Vrindavan Dham, and that is called liberation, right? So then Lord Krishna explains to Arjuna in further from 18th to 24th chapter, it details, he explains about acting in Krishna consciousness so that we can get free from the repeated cycle of birth, disease, old age, and death. Therefore, we have to work for the pleasure of Krishna, right? Um, and then Lord Krishna, this akarma is the sacrifice actually. This akarma is sacrifice. And then you can do different types of sacrifice, You can do sacrifice of your money. So you use your money for, say, um, helping somebody, or you use your money to maintain the family, for example. One common thing is we do is maintain ourselves or family, but this can also be a sacrifice. How is that? So whatever the money we make a little bit of that. Say we make $100, maybe $1 we give it for some good cause, for the service of Krishna. Little, whatever little, maybe 10% is a good rule actually. Whatever money we make, we should use 10% for service of Krishna. And that will definitely, because we have to look after other expenses also, but some sacrifice has to be done. So that is dravya yagna. Then tapa yagna, austerities. We have to have some austerity in our life. So what is austerity like? So getting up early in the morning, doing reading Bhagavad Gita one shloka is austerity, because it is something which we have to remind ourselves, right? Doing say pranayam is an austerity, breathing exercises, so you do breathing exercises, sort of austerity. Or fasting, every ekadashi day we fast. So that's austerity, so like that. So austerity is very important. Then yoga yagna, sacrifice in the east for the mysticism. So yama niyama asana ashtanga yoga, we'll talk about that. Then Swadhyaya Yagna, study of Vedic scripture is also a yagna. And then Gnana Yagna. Gnana Yagna is the sacrifice in the advancement of transcendental knowledge. Basically, Gnana Yagna means reading Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam or any Vedic scripture. And what we are doing is yagna actually. This is a yagna. This is a sacrifice, We are sitting here, sacrificing your time, your energy. So this is a yagna. And this is a karma, actually. What we are doing now is a karma. What prasadam we take is a karma. What we do for Krishna is a karma. This is all a karma, right? So that is all about, right? So this is what Lord Krishna talks about, various types of sacrifices. So that's where the Bhagavad Gita fourth chapter ends, and then we'll talk about fifth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is actions in Krishna consciousness, Nishkam Karma Yoga. So Arjuna asked a question to Lord Krishna in the fifth chapter, first shloka. Arjuna is saying, you can repeat after me. Arjuna Vacha Sanyasam Karmanam Krishna Punaryogam Cha Samsashi Yashreha Etayor Ekam Tanme Bruhi Sunishchitam. So Arjuna is saying to Lord Krishna, Sanyasam karmanam Krishna Purna Punaryogam cha samsashi Yashreha etayorekam Tanme Bruhi Sunishchitam. Arjuna is saying, Krishna, first of all, you asked me to renounce the work, and then again you recommended me to work with devotion. Now, will you kindly tell me definitely which of the two is more beneficial? So, Lord Krishna said that sacrifice, sacrifice, sacrifice. But still, Arjuna didn't understand the uh, depth of the sacrifice. You know, what we talked about, akarma, that principle was not clear to Arjuna, as you all said that, oh, fourth chapter is still confusing, right? And Arjuna had the same question. Arjuna said, Krishna, you're talking about sannyas, sacrifice. Sacrifice, Arjuna understood to be sannyas, to give up everything. And then he says, another time you're saying work, work, work. So I'm little confused. Are you asking me to take sannyas or are you asking me to work? I'm really confused now because Arjuna is representing all of us. So he's clarifying because he wants more instruction on karma yoga from Lord Krishna, right? So Nishkam Karma Yoga. So basically he's asking, please tell me, what do you mean by akarma? Can you please explain me more? Right? So Sri Bhagavan Vacha Sanyasah Karma Yogascha Niharshreyas Karau Abhav Tayostu Karma Sanyasa Karma Yoga Visheshyate. So Lord Krishna said that sannyasa means people give up the family life, material life, and they go to the forest. That is called sannyas. And karma yoga means live in the material world, but act in Krishna consciousness. Yeah. So which is easier? Both are difficult. Both are difficult. But which is most difficult? To stay here and remember Krishna is very difficult. You can be silent when you go to the forest. There's nobody around you, right? So what's the point? There's no sense gratification. There's no TV, no video, no movie, nothing. So obviously it's easy life, right? You did that for a year. It's easy, right? Uh, but then to live here in this material world and control the senses is very difficult. So that is what Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna. The personality of Godhead replied, the renunciation of work and work in devotion are both good for liberation. But of the two, the work in devotional service is better than renunciation of the work. It's better to stay here and help others rather than go to jungle and run away. That's the easy route of escape. You can stay in a jungle and that's it. But to stay here and elevate the consciousness of others is hard. And that is what is needed. Everybody needs help, right? If you become selfish and run away to go to Himalayas and do meditation, that's good. It's an easy process. It's not that easy. It is not as easy as we are thinking. It's very hard. But more difficult that is to elevate the consciousness of everybody around us. So that is what Lord Krishna is saying, that you, rather than running away, Arjuna, you perform your work in such a way that everybody gets inspired from your thing and they start living like you. So as a soldier, you perform your duty rather than running away from the battle and you say, I want to be sannyasi. That's not good. Not everybody should do that. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please come join us. Pleasure to have you. Please come, have a seat. So, so then Lord Krishna says about the definition of a sannyasi. Who is really sannyasi? So Lord Krishna is saying, Gneha sa nitya sannyasi yona dveshtati na kankshati. One who neither hates nor desires the fruits of his activities known as real sannyasi. Uh, So real sannyasi means that one who gets whatever the results we get, we neither are attached to it nor we are hatred towards it. We say, okay, all whatever good or bad comes is of Krishna mercy. That is what is real sannyasi. What further Lord Krishna says, Nirdvando hi mahabhavo sukham bandhat pramuchyate. Such a person is free from all dualities, easily overcomes material bondage, and completely free from liberation. So here is the key to be free. We all want to be free, right? Free means we do not want to be bounded by the laws. Nobody wants to be like bounded by the laws. So people sometimes they drive faster. They want to reach quicker, but they are breaking the law, right? But law is the one which keeps you bounded, right? Is that right? So laws are there for good. But if we are in Krishna consciousness, then we all do it for pleasure of Krishna. So that there is no law. Only law is to please Krishna, right? So in that law, all the laws are included actually. So when you are pleasing Krishna, then whatever the activities we are doing, obviously has to be good, right? And then we follow the instructions of Krishna from Bhagavad Gita. Then our life will be just like a sannyasi, but is beyond sannyasa. Sannyas also has a niyama, like do this, do that. Sannyasi, they have to wear like a saffron dress. They have to get up early in the morning, do tapasya, then door to door and beg, and then teach others about Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam or Shastra. And Krishna consciousness also has the same thing. We get up early in the morning. I come here. We all the devotees come here in the morning. Uh, we do arti, kirtan. We read Bhagavatam. We do japa. We do yagna, japa yagna. Then I go to work. Everybody goes to work. Then we come back in the evening. And again we do the arti ceremony. Then we have Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita teachings. Then we have a Sunday program where we cook the food, prasadam, distribute. Then we celebrate all the festivities, then cook the prasadam for everybody. So this is just like a sannyas because you are not attached, but you are still performing for Krishna. That is what sannyasi does, right? Sannyasi's work is to go and help others, and that's what we all are doing, right? We come together, we learn Bhagavad Gita, and spread the message of Bhagavad Gita. So this is as good as staying in the forest, but in the material world, right? So that is what it's all about, right? So then you can easily overcome the problems in your life. The problems will come, but all problems will be blessings, because every problem we remember Krishna more, right? When there is a problem, we remember more Krishna, because Krishna is the one who guides us, right? So that is how it is. So then devotional service, Lord Krishna is saying, Sannyasatu mahabhavo dukkham aptu ayogatah. Merely renouncing all activities and not engaging in devotional service of the Lord cannot make one happy. Right? So you say that, okay, I give up everything. What can you give up? Nothing belongs to you, right? You can give up if it belongs to you. What belongs to you? The body is also given to you by your parents. Uh, the air is given by Krishna, we are surviving. The sun is given by Krishna, we are surviving. Water is given by Krishna, food is given by Krishna. So you can give up something which belongs to you. अगर आपका कुछ है ही नहीं तो क्या दे सकते हैं? Is that right? Can a beggar give money? Because he has no money, right? So what do we have? We have everything borrowed from others, and our house is also on the mortgage. Everything is others, right? So how can we give up? So Lord Krishna says that just by renouncing, you say you renounce, you will never be happy. But yoga yukto munir brahma na chirandadi gachati. But a thoughtful person engaged in service of devotion, which means service with love and care, can achieve the supreme without delay. So if you really want to be happy, then serve. Service is the best way to be happy. If you want to be satisfied, feed others. Try this once. You stay hungry and give food to others. You will feel automatically satisfied. That happens. No matter what, you will initially you will feel like that you should have something for yourself, but after a while, the joy of giving is much more than joy of receiving. Is that right? Yes.
I feel like I've really experienced this.
Uh-huh.
This is where we're headed for in creating in our life.
Mm-hmm.
Because initially I went to university, I got a few degrees,
Uh-huh.
I went into the work
Mm-hmm.
because this is what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I had everything, like very nice house on the lake,
Yeah.
very nice family, all these things. And I was doing everything right in a good job.
Uh-huh.
But I could feel like something is not there, something's missing.
Yes.
And then I quit my job,
Uh-huh.
which is insane. And people are like, wow, you can't, like, who does that? No one quits your job.
Uh-huh.
But then I thought about what is missing? What do I need to give?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What I learned is um, the thing that I learned is that I wanted children to know what their gifts are.
Mm-hmm.
So then when they become adults, they
Yes.
can give that. And so I created my own work
Mm-hmm.
where I could share this, where it was coming from my heart, and I felt like I was more in service.
Mm-hmm.
But yet my salary went from 100 grand a year to half of this,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but I felt so much more. And then
Yes.
over time,
Yes.
it's like magic just happened.
Yes, that's the joy of giving.
I started with like 5 kids,
Yeah.
then 10, then 15. Then I was making the same again.
Yes. Yes.
And now, again, have realized, okay, now I need to be in more service. So I've given this up again. And
Yes.
now it's creating something new
Yes.
because I really know that this is true.
Yes. Yes.
And
And that's what Lord Krishna is talking here
yeah,
to Arjuna.
and
That.
it's scary because like our 3D mind is like we need to work, we need to get and my parents are like, what?
Mm-hmm.
What are you
Mm-hmm.
doing? But I feel like I know that this is like what we
Mm-hmm.
all need to do. And
Yes.
we all have been given a gift.
Mm-hmm.
We all are special. We all have something very special about each of us.
Yes.
And so when we take that gift and we create our work through that, like maybe you're studying to be an engineer, but maybe there's something in that that you can take your very special gift and 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 instead of making it just work, like
Mm-hmm.
going 9 to 5 into it, maybe you make that into your devotional work.
Yes.
We just have to use our mind and figure it out.
Yes. Yes. I agree with you. Thank you for sharing your realizations. Thank you so much. Yes. So Lord Krishna is saying this same concept here. He's saying that yukta karma phalam tyakta shantim apnoti naishtikam. Huh? So yukta karma means yukta means engaged. So or one who is using his karma for the service of Krishna. So whatever the karma we do it for his pleasure. So it's like giving the credits. Whatever the credits we are getting, say somebody says, oh, you're doing good work. Okay, this is all credits to my Guru Maharaj. And then my Guru Maharaj will give the credits to his Guru Maharaj, his Guru, like that to go to Krishna. So we always glorify Krishna, you know, because nothing belongs to us actually. We don't own anything, even though sometimes we feel like that. Okay, I'm doing such a good work. That feeling itself is a bondage. But as soon as we feel like I'm doing good work because of the energy given by somebody else, so that is borrowed energy. So all belongs to him. So everything is belonging to Krishna, and that is the freedom, and that is where we get the peace. So why do we get the peace? Because all credits goes to him. So anybody criticizes is up to him, and anybody gives credit, that is up to him. I am not worried about it. If You work in a place, then you do your work. Whether company gets money or not, as long as I'm getting my salary, it's okay, right? That is what it is all about. That Krishna will take all care of you if you give the credits to Krishna, like that. Um, there are many more principles here in fifth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. One of the principle which Lord Krishna teaches here in Bhagavad Gita, fifth chapter. So one principle Lord Krishna gave us is Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastine. So, seeing everybody with the equal vision, that is one principle Lord Krishna teaches in the fifth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Whether it is an animal, huh? Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi. Gavi means cow, Hastini means elephant, or a Brahmana means a great devotee. You know, in the picture you can see there is a Brahmana, the cow, the dog. Huh? So, seeing everybody with the equal vision. We should not discriminate between animals and humans or humans from one human from another human. Seeing everybody with equal vision. How is that possible? So, seeing Paramatma everywhere, seeing God in everyone. So, there is a God, there is a soul, and then super soul, Atma and Paramatma in everyone. So, when we say Namaste, what does that mean? When we say Namaste, means I am paying respects to the Paramatma within your heart, Ishvara within your heart. There's a God within everybody of us, right? So when we are paying respects, I am paying respects not to you, not to your body, but there is a God within your body. Because this body is just like a temple. You know, this is like a building, and then the Krishna here, right? So this body is a building in which there is a Krishna residing. So that is why we pay respects to animals also, because animal has a body in which Krishna is residing. That's a temple. Now all the temples can have different shape and size, you know. Is that right? Some is big temple, small temple, but temple is a temple where Krishna resides. So this Sharira, this Sharira, this Sharira, this Sharira, every Sharira is a house of Krishna. So Krishna is living in your body. So actually, in the Vaishnava Sampradaya, we pay Dandvat Pranam. We pay like a flat. We pay Dandvats. Why? Dandvats to not to you. You shouldn't start feeling, oh, I'm becoming great because people are touching my feet. That is not the thing. Here, it is because there is God within you. That is why. And when we pay respects to others also, we should think like that. Oh, there is a God within you. That is why I'm paying respects to him. Not just because he's a great person or he's a great power or great authority or nothing like that. So then you pay respects to ant also, an insect also, a bird also, a reptile also, because everybody is storehouse of Krishna, right? So that is why with that vision, if we approach, that is called equal vision. Otherwise, people discriminate, human and animals also. They say, "Thou shall not kill." That is the first commandments of the Bible, right? Uh, but then they will kill whom? Animals. They will not kill humans because if you kill human, you will be behind the jail, right? But there is no punishment for killing animals. Why? Animals are not living beings. Animals are also living beings. We should give them equal freedom. So that is which is called equal vision. And that is artificially not possible. You know, one time, tell you a little brief story. I met one person who we had a meeting, and then he was describing that he was driving from, I think he was driving from Montreal or somewhere, and he was coming to Toronto, and he saw on the way a bird was suffering from the injury, and then he picked up the bird and took the bird to the veterinary doctor, and then the bird was cured. And I said, "Wow, wonderful act of kindness you have done, right?" And then when I saw him, he was eating some chicken thing or something like that. So I said, where did that kindness disappear, right? You one way you have a pet dog at home and you look after the dog like another family member, and on your plate is another animal. So what sort of kindness is this? This is called as artificial equalness. But when you are equally kind, then you will pay equal respect even to apple or a banana and saying that Krishna, this is you are there inside this. I'm eating this just because I have to survive, and you please bless me. So we try to be less violent, as least as possible, and try to be equally respectful to elephant. And that is why in Vedic culture we worship cows also. Cow is considered as your mother actually. We never kill a cow. Why? Because after mother's milk, it is the cow's milk which gives you the nutrition. So how can we kill the cows? We worship plants. We worship tulasi. We worship banyan tree. Why? Because we see Paramatma with there. We see the God within everything, right? So that is called as Pandita. Pandita Sama Darshina. So we should have an equal vision for everybody. Everybody gets the point? Yeah, this is what Krishna is giving. So this is much higher teaching. Very, very high teachings of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Further, Lord Krishna says, a person who neither rejoices upon achieving something pleasant nor laments upon abstaining something unpleasant and has steady intelligence, unbewildered, and knows the science of God. That is called as Sthira Buddhi. Huh? So what is the science of God? The science of God is having steady intelligence. Sthira Buddhi. This is the very important word. Sthira Buddhi Asamuddho. Sthira Buddhi means you do not get disturbed. Whatever happens in the world, you do not get disturbed. You just know that all this is happening, which is external. Somebody gives you good reaction, or somebody appreciates you, somebody humiliates you, it doesn't matter because it is all external, right? So that is where, like say you get $1 million, you become very happy, right? And you lose money, you become dishappy. But the person who gets money also, like say I get $1 million, what am I going to do with the money? We'll use it for service of Krishna, right? And if I lose money, anyway, that money was not mine, it was Krishna's money, because everything is Krishna, right? If you go to a bank and a bank teller gives you money, does he say this is my money I'm giving to you? No, he tells you that this is your money, please take. He's just a mediator. Similarly, whatever the resources we are getting, they belong to Krishna. We are just here to distribute. You get it? हमारे पास जितना भी पैसा आ रहा है, whatever the money we are getting, what do? We distribute. We don't keep all the money. Some people might keep in the bank, but what's the poor keeping money in the bank? Because you're going to die and then somebody else will distribute on your behalf. Then better you distribute to someone, right? So you can distribute the money for your own self, or you can distribute on behalf of Krishna. So you can buy a big house for yourself, or you help building some nice facility for some poor people, or helping some people, like that. You can buy the food for yourself and make a big party, or you can buy grocery, make Krishna Prashad and distribute the prasad. It's all up to you. What is your consciousness, right? So if your consciousness is Krishna conscious, then you will never get confused in your life. And what does Krishna consciousness say? Krishna consciousness says that you are not this body. So nothing belongs to you here. Everything belongs to Krishna. So it has to be used in the service of who owns it, right? If I come to your home and if I take the things without your permission, then it will not be proper, right? But if I take your permission and you give it, then it's proper way. Similarly, whatever we have, we use it with his permission. If you drink the water, we remember Krishna and drink the water. And that is like taking a permission. Otherwise, it's stealing, right? So that is Sthira Buddhi. So then you get the money. Who gives you money? Krishna gives you money. If you get success, who gives you success? Krishna. If you lose money, what did you lose? It was not your money, it was Krishna's money, right? So what is the point of losing? If it doesn't belong to you, how can you lose it? Can you lose it? It doesn't belong. So that is what Krishna is saying, Sthira Buddhi. So then Krishna says to Arjuna, in the next sloka, he is giving idea of happiness, sukham. So he says, Bhaya Sparshava Asakma Asaktatma Vindanti atmani yat sukham. Such a liberated person is not attracted to material sense pleasure, but is always in trance, enjoying the pleasure within. So that is liberation, right? Liberation is freedom, freedom from anxiety. A little boy, when he is with father, he is not worried because the father is there to take care of him. Is that right? But as soon as he is separated from the father, the anxiety comes. Oh, who will look after me? Who will give me food? Similarly, as long as we are connected with Krishna, then we are all good because Krishna will take care of us. But as soon as we get separated from him, then our anxiety starts bounding up. So if you do some work, then what you worry first thing, what will I get? Will I be successful or not? But the person who is dependent on Krishna, or he has idea, okay, uh, everything is controlled by Krishna, nothing belongs to me. So if he wants, then I will get it. If he doesn't want, then so like say you go for a job interview, and what is your expectation? You should get hired, right? That is always the expectation, right? Or no? But and that creates anxiety. And then if you don't get it, then you go down. Oh my God, I'm suffering. Like that. That is a psychology, right? But when you think, okay, if it is Krishna, I did it, and just because Krishna gave me an opportunity to go for a job interview, so it is his thing. And whether I get it, if he wants it, if I don't get it, that is what he wants. Because I am here to serve him. I am here for his service. I am not here for my service. Is that right or wrong? So we are here to serve Krishna. So whatever he wants, that is what. So such a man can get happiness and peace. Otherwise, whole world will be in anxiety always, right? If you get this job, then you will worry about next job, and then you worry about the next job. If you're making $5, you worry about $25. When you're making $25, you're worried about $50, and then $100, and then the endless struggle, right? So here, Lord Krishna is saying, if you want really unlimited happiness, then just understand the whole perspective of the life. So then whether you get it or not, you will be happy, right? So it is unlimited happiness. uh, just the last shloka we'll do for the 25th chapter, and then we'll go quickly to 6th chapter. So here Lord Krishna gives a peace formula in 5th chapter, 29th shloka. Lord Krishna says, Bhoktaram yagana tapasam. You can repeat. Bhoktaram yagana tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suradam sarvabhutanam ज्ञात्वा माम शांति मृच्छति. Shanti means peace. So, if you really want a peace, then what Lord Krishna is saying here? Lord Krishna is saying, a person who is in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains the peace from pangs of material miseries. So this is the ultimate peace formula. What is the peace formula? That Krishna is the supreme lord of everything. He is the Bhoktaram. Bhoktaram means he is the ultimate beneficiary of everything. Whatever we have, if we try to enjoy ourselves, we'll never be happy. But if we give it to Krishna, we'll always be happy. Like say you are working in a factory, like say I'm working in a hospital, and they have given me all the facilities, and then I misuse the facilities. I start doing some other business in the facility. It's not good. I've been given facility to work for the hospital, so I should use it for that purpose. If you don't use it, then they will fire you, or you will be miserable, right? If a company gives you a car for the work purpose, and you go for a travel on a big vacation, taking company's car and go to Banff, they will come and get you, and they say, okay, you are fired too. Why? Because you misuse, right? Similarly, We have been given this body for service. What is the service meant for? Praising Krishna. And instead of using this body for service, what do we use? Use for enjoying the senses. Then that is misuse. Then you will never be happy. Right? So the greatest peace formula is Krishna is the proprietor of everything. Everything belongs to Krishna. Nothing belongs to us. Is that right? We didn't. Nothing belongs to us. Everything is small, small things around us. Everything is given to us by Krishna. So everything is to be utilized for service of Krishna. Like this microphone, you can say the company manufactured the microphone, right? The computer, company manufactured it. Yeah, that is true. But all the elements, they were given by Krishna. The brain to manufacture this was given by Krishna. So everything belongs to Krishna. So the summary of the chapter 5th is that work with complete knowledge of Lord as proprietor. Krishna is the proprietor of everything. Then seeing everybody with, how do you see everybody with equal vision? Okay. Ah, very nice, very nice, very nice. Seeing Krishna everywhere. Everything belongs to Krishna and Krishna is everywhere. These are the two things. So when you see that there is a Krishna here, Krishna here, Krishna here, Krishna here, and then all the things to us are given by Krishna, then we will never get bewildered. Because nothing belongs to me. Like suppose you have some money and you lose it. I'm not worried about it. It's your money. Is that right? It's your problem, right? People have lots of problems in the life. Do we worry about everybody? Then we'll go crazy, right? But then we say, okay, Krishna, whatever you want, please do everything good for others. Whatever you want. I'm not saying do this or do that, but hey Krishna, you look after. Sarve sukhina bhavantu, sarve santu niramaya. So this is what we pray to Krishna. That Krishna keep everybody happy in whatever the way you want it. I'm not worried about it. But it's up to you, whatever the way. I don't say keep me happy. Keep everyone happy, which means that keep everybody out of trouble. Right? Then you never get bewildered. And then you get unlimited happiness. The source of unlimited happiness is, what is the reason? Why do we get unlimited happiness? We discussed. Krishna is everywhere. Everything belongs to Krishna. So then how do you get unlimited happiness? Yes? Ah, giving, the joy of giving. You get it? He's a good boy. He's a smart boy. Right? When you give, this body is for service, right? So unlimited happiness means more you do seva for Krishna, more you become happy, right? And you can control kama, krodha, moha, just because you are doing it all for Krishna's service, right? And this is the most important thing, always thinking good of others. Always thinking about others, how we can make others happy by bringing them closer to Krishna. It's nothing about yourself, it is all about service of Krishna, like that. So this is the summary of the 5th chapter. We will go to the 6th chapter because we are running short of time. But this is the most important chapter, I would say. If you really want to be get the gist out of whole Bhagavad Gita, uh, the basics are in this chapter actually. So Lord Krishna talks about Dhyana Yoga in this chapter. We'll try to cover as much as we can, and then we'll go with the next week also. But this is a very important chapter, so I won't rush in this. So, what is the connection between Dhyana Yoga? Lord Krishna was talking about karma, and all of a sudden now we start talking about dhyana. So, what is the connection between karma and dhyana? So, this is a very bewildering transition. And then from dhyana, he all of a sudden goes to bhakti. And then from bhakti, so it is not random actually. So, Lord Krishna, he is saying that through dhyana, he teaches us the mind control. And when your mind is under control, then you can do your karma properly. So he has told about the principles of karma and everything, but the main factor which governs all the karma is your mind, right? And that is what Lord Krishna is going to talk about in this chapter. Is the how do we advance in our self development through mind control, and that is dhyana yoga. So most of the time we all understand yoga as a person sitting meditating, and we talked about this yoga before, right? What is the yoga? What is yoga means? Unite, right? Process of linking, right? It is a process of linking. So what is it linking about? Uh-huh. Linking of body, mind, and soul to super soul. Atma with Paramatma. Most of the time, people consider yoga as asanas, right? There are different types of yogas, but here Lord Krishna talking about is like there are some yogas. Modern day people consider this as a one yoga. There's another yoga called dog yoga. Have you heard this before? Yeah, there's a dog yoga also. And then there is a here is another picture I got from the internet. People are doing this. I mean, it's a good exercise, I would say, but it's not. I mean, you can, if you have a clear consciousness of Bhagavad Gita and start seeing everybody equally and dog also as a part and parcel of Krishna, then yes, that is yoga. But I don't know whether they really understand this. There's another thing called laughter yoga. Everybody gathers in the park in the morning and they start laughing. It's a good enjoyment exercise. And then there is a hot yoga. Yesterday only somebody was telling me about the founder of this yoga. He cheated so many people and he ran away with all the fraud and everything. So this is called Bikram Yoga. It used to be called the founder Bikram. So he's running away from America. But so that is the thing, when you consider yoga as exercise part, then you are misled. So, what is Lord Krishna talking about Dhyana Yoga here? So, Dhyana Yoga is a part of Ashtanga Yoga process. So, Ashta means 8, and Yoga means the process of uniting with Paramatma. And there is eightfold process of uniting with Paramatma. So, this is called Ashtanga Yoga. Anga means limbs. So, there are 8 limbs of uniting with Supreme Soul within your life. This is called Ashtanga Yoga. So what is the first limb? Yama. Second is Niyama. Third is Asana. Fourth is Pranayam. Fifth is Pratyahara. Then Dharana. Then Dhyana and Samadhi. So last limb is Samadhi. Last means the end result is the Samadhi, right? So now here, understanding all these 8 limbs is very important. But more important than that is uh, the end result. That if you follow one limb, second limb, third limb, but if you do not reach the destination, then your process is incomplete, right? So here, yama means controlling the senses. We talked about that Bhagavad Gita. Then niyama means following rules and regulations, right? There are various niyamas like you should get up early in the morning, then take a shower, then do some pranayam, meditations, process, fasting, all those things. So then asana is the exercises. Then pranayam, breathing exercise, right? Controlling. There are different types of pranayam like Bastrika pranayam, Anulom Vilom pranayam, Brahmari pranayam, like different pranayams are there. If we would have more time, we would have done pranayam exercises also, but we are running short of time, so I will not go much into detail because I want to take you to the ultimate benefit of the whole process. Then pratyahara. Pratyahara means um, uh, regulating your behavior, like for example, how much to eat, how much not to eat, what not to eat, sort of controlling your behavior. Then dharana. This is where I want to stop now. So this is the Ashtanga Yoga. Yama is the controlling the senses. Niyama is following the rules and regulations. Asana is practicing. Pranayam is breath control. And then pratyahara, controlling your eating behavior, sleeping behavior. But then dharana, dhyana and samadhi. This is the main thing. Dharana, dhyana. Because we are following yama, niyama, asana, pranayam, pratyahar, so that we can do dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. Huh? You understand this? Because the purpose of everything is to do dharana. So, what is dharana? Concentration. Then there is a dhyana, meditation, and there is a trance which is called samadhi. So now let's see the difference between dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. Um, I have all the description of yama, niyama, asana, but I will not go into detail at this time. If time permits, later on we'll talk about it. But I just wanted to focus on dharana. What is dharana? So what is different between dharana, dhyana, and samadhi? Anybody wants to contribute? What is dharana, dhyana? Anybody has heard before these words? What is dharana? So dharana means that our uh, like say there is a water dripping from the ceiling. Okay, drip, 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 the water is dripping, and then I'm watching the water dripping. That is called dharana actually. Dharana means that I'm focusing on that water. uh, that particular either the stream of water or the sound vibration of the water. That is called dharana. So, and this dharana is usually for short period of time. Usually about 12 seconds or less. And then you can, if you can do that for a longer time, say you're watching constantly that water for 5 minutes or 10 minutes without getting distracted, just watching the water droplet coming, or from you open the tap and you see the water coming, and you focus on that water for more than 2-3 minutes, then that becomes dhyana actually. And then you can continuously watch that water for 24 hours, that becomes samadhi. You understand? This is an analogy I'm giving. I'm not saying go and watch the water. But this is an analogy to understand. To focus on any particular subject matter for say 12 seconds is called dharana. If you can focus it for 144 seconds, that becomes dhyana. And if you can do 24 by 7, 365 days a year, that is called samadhi. Right? So which is easier? Huh? You think easier to focus on any particular thing for 12 seconds without getting distracted? Let's try it one day. It's hard. It's hard. After 3 seconds or 4 seconds, your mind will start running away. That's what happens, you see. So even we keep quiet, and I say that keep quiet and focus on, say, Om or some sound vibration, then it's possible. But if you just keep a quiet, then after a few seconds you will hear something from surrounding and your mind will start listening everything around you. Right? So it's very difficult. So dharana is our commitment to focus on a particular breath, mantra or sensation for a short period of time. Dhyana is made possible by sustained practice of dharana. So dharana is focus for 12 seconds and dhyana is focus for 144 seconds. But what is the main organ of your body involved in this? It's mind. Whether you take yama, you take a niyama, you take asana, you take pranayam, you take pratyahar, you take dharana, dhyana or samadhi, the central focus of every our life is mind. What you do at work, what you do at home, it all depends upon mind. Mind is the central focus. Even though the intelligence is higher than the mind, but somehow or other, our mind dominates our existence because we have given all the charge to mind. So they say mind your mind. Mind your mind means you should think about your mind very carefully because mind is very powerful. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita the power of mind. What is Lord Krishna says? Uddharet atmana atmanam na atmanam avasadayet atmavehi atmano bandhur atmeva ripuratmana. Ripur means enemy and bandhu means friend. So here Lord Krishna is saying one must deliver himself with the help of his mind and not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. Mind can be your good friend or it can be your worst enemy at the time because it is the mind. See, mind can control your heartbeat also. If you are anxious, your blood pressure and heartbeat will go up. Is that right? And if you are relaxed, your blood pressure will go down. So people get heart attack just because of stress, mental tension. Because the mind has a power to control your whole body mechanism. Mind can control your body temperature also. Like people in Himalayas, the sadhus, they stay without warm clothing. They have just like one loin cloth, but their mind is so powerful that mind can control your body. There are some sadhus who can control their mind in such a way that their heart rate becomes zero. You won't feel the pulses. People can fast for 1 month without water. We will die after 5 days, 6 days. But people can do that because their mind is so powerful that mind controls the metabolism of the body. And normally, if you fast for 1 week, your muscle starts breaking. But these people who have this mind control, they can control the metabolism also because they can survive for a month without eating food. So, mind is a very, very powerful part of our human existence. But somehow or other, we missed the opportunity to learn about the mind. So, Lord Krishna tells to Arjuna, Krishna, before I go further about teaching you about Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga and Gnana Yoga, let me tell you the mind because without mind, you will not be able to absorb. So, Atme vehi atmano bandhur atme varipur atmana. One must deliver himself with the help of mind. So we have to use this mind. If somehow or other we lose the control of the mind, then we will be in trouble. So Lord Krishna is saying, you take this mind and use it for the good cause, for your deliverance. It is just like a knife. Knife is knife good or bad? Is knife good or bad? It's neither good or not bad. What you use it for makes a difference. If you give the knife to a thief, he will kill somebody. And if you knife to a doctor or surgeon, he might cure somebody. Right? Is that right? So it all depends upon what you use it for. So mind is good or bad. It all depends upon what we use our mind with the intelligence. So with the intelligence, we have to control or divert the mind. So mind your mind is a very important thing, in our life. So Lord Krishna is saying further, Bandhuratmanastasya yenatmeva atmana jitah anatmanastu shatrutve varteyatmeva shatruvat. For him who has conquered the mind is the best of the friend. But for him who has failed to do so, the mind will become your great enemy actually. Again, Lord Krishna is saying the same thing in two slokas consecutive. Why? Because it is important. Otherwise, he would not repeat it again and again. Because this is what we need to know, that mind will be your friend or mind will be your enemy. Hmm? So, how do you control the mind? Can you ever control the mind? Have you ever tried to control the mind? Is it possible? It is very difficult actually. It's very difficult. Mind is more you try to control the mind, more it becomes powerful actually. You cannot control the spring, the spring, more you press, what happens? It will bounce very quickly. More you try artificially, it will be a problem for you. Mind control is very difficult. But what you can do is channelize the mind. Again, here the art is the channelizing. That is what Lord Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna is saying, Jita Jita Atmanah Prashantasya Paramatma Samahita Sitoshnu Sukha Dukkeshu Tatha Mana Pamanayo. For one who has conquered the mind, the super soul is already reached, for he has attained the tranquility. Such a man, happiness and distress, heat and cold, honor and dishonor, all are the same. So, Lord Krishna is saying that if you can somehow or other win this mind, then what will happen? then you will always be tranquil. Prashantasya. Tranquil means always cool. Mr. Cool, you will become never worried. And how is that? Because you have completely conquered the enemy. Who is the enemy? Anxiety comes from mind. What is the function of the mind? Who will tell me? What is the function of mind? You have mind? Where is your mind? You don't know? Your mind, Prabhuji? You don't know? The CT scan will show you mind. CT scan? No? MRI? So then where is the mind? They say the people who are crazy, people go crazy, they have got a depression or schizophrenia or maniac disorders or bipolar disorders. So psychiatry is a big science actually. There's a lot of complicated cases in psychiatry. People go crazy, but they have to have the separate hospital for them because it's not a regular disease. Like in our hospital we have heart disease and cancer and orthopedics and ophthalmology, but then psychiatry is not there. They have to go to the separate hospital. Why? Because there is something which is not visible with the routine investigations. Mind, people who have the mental problems, their MRI and CT scan are normal. You will not be able to find any abnormality in them. All the blood investigations are normal, but still they have a problem. When they give them a drugs, the drugs doesn't cure the patient actually. It just calms the patient. They make them slow actually, but they cure. Psychiatric disorders are usually lifelong actually, most of the time. Like one of my friend's father, he was a big businessman 30-35 years back, and somebody cheated him in a business and took his all money. He underwent depression and then it transformed into schizophrenia, and he has been suffering from that forever, like for 35 years or so. He has been treated by many doctors, but nothing, nothing, no cure. Because mental problems have that problem. They are usually lifelong. And that is why Krishna is saying that from the beginning, this curb, this enemy which is called mind. Arjuna was about to go down actually. He was depressed. And if Lord Krishna would not have saved Arjuna, he would have gone crazy. That is how the depression starts. So Lord Krishna gives a method of controlling the mind. He says, "Hey Arjuna, go to the jungle and sit on a very firm yoga mat and practice the yoga by purifying the heart, by controlling your mind, senses, activities, fix the mind in one point." And then he gives more method. One should hold one's body, neck, head erect in the straight line, stare steadily at the tip of the nose. Thus, with an unagitated, subdued mind, devoid of fear, completely free from sex life, one should meditate upon me within the heart and make me ultimate goal of life. So when Lord Krishna describes this whole process, then Arjuna says, Krishna, wait, 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 wait. You're telling me this, but it is very difficult. You're telling me to go to jungle and meditate, and it's Krishna. Arjuna is saying that, hey Krishna, here. Arjuna is saying to Lord Krishna, oh Madhusudana, the system of yoga you have just summarized is not practical. How can I go now? I have to fight this war, and you asking me to go to jungle and meditate, and it's not possible. And stare at the tip of the nose. And what are you telling me? Can I do this? It's not possible. Can we all do it? It's not possible, right? So he says the method you have summarized is impractical and unendurable to me. For the mind is very restless and unsteady. Chanchalahi mana Krishna pramadi balvatradam. He says this mind is so difficult. It's just like a mad elephant. I can change the direction of the wind, but I can't control this mind. Arjuna is telling to Lord Krishna. He is saying further, Chanchalahi mana Krishna pramadi balvadradam tasyaham nigraham manye vayoriva sudushkaram. The mind is restless and turbulent, obstinate and very strong, O Krishna. To subdue it, I think, is more difficult than controlling mind. Krishna, what you are talking about, mind is not practical. Can you please tell me some practical solution? And Arjuna is right, right? We want something practical. We don't want something theory. So Arjuna is our representative. He is asking on our behalf to Krishna. Krishna is giving all the theory, but Arjuna is saying no. So then Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna, yes, Arjuna, what you are saying is correct actually. That to control this mind is very, very difficult. So I'm going to tell you some secret about it. How to control this mind. So he says, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Asamshayam Mahabaho Manodurnigraham Chalam Abhyasena tu Kaunteya Vairagyana cha Griyate. Oh Arjuna, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb this restless mind, but it is possible through Abhyasa and Vairagya. So now Krishna is talking something practical. So Abhyasa. Abhyasa means practice. So what is this practice Lord Krishna is talking about? So what is this practice Lord Krishna is talking about?
controlling mind.
Hmm? How do you control the mind practice? So Lord Krishna is giving a method, the solution for this, that how can we do that. Usually practice means, we talked about this, right? Yama, niyama, asana, pranayam, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. But Lord Krishna is saying that you don't have to go through all this channel. You don't have to go to jungle and meditate and do this. What is he saying? He's saying the solution in the last sloka of 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. What is that? Yoginam api sarvesham. You can repeat after me. Yoginam api sarvesham. Madagatenteratmana. Shraddhavan bhajate yomam. Same yukta tamo mataha. So he's saying that I'm going to tell you the best solution. You don't have to control the mind. You don't have to go through all this process, which I just described. I just described this process so that you know that there is this process, but that is hard. There is difficult process. But this is the best process. And what is that? Of all yogis, one with great faith who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders transcendental loving service to me. He is the most intimately united with me in yoga, and that yogi is the highest of all. So Lord Krishna is saying that if you really want to control your mind, if you want to be really do dharana, dhyana, samadhi, if you really want to be in samadhi, then what is the best thing? Always think about me. So always thinking about Lord Krishna's teaching, Bhagavad Gita, meditating upon each and every shloka of Bhagavad Gita is dharana, dhyana and samadhi. Actually, if we decide that, okay, I will read one shloka of Bhagavad Gita in the morning and entire day I will meditate upon this shloka. What is that called as? Samadhi. Why? Because you're all the time meditating on Lord Krishna, what did he say today in Bhagavad Gita? Let me make that as my goal of today. So you morning what you do? You open a shloka Bhagavad Gita and you say, what is Krishna telling me today? Shloka number 1. And then whole day what you do? You don't have to go to jungle and close your eyes and focus on the tip of the nose, because ultimate aim is samadhi. What is samadhi? To unite with Krishna. But how can you unite with Krishna in an easy way? Just think about teachings of Krishna. Is that easy? It's very easy, right? So you open your day in the morning and you open the Bhagavad Gita and then start meditating on Lord Krishna said this, and that is called as dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. That is the ultimate thing, right? So Lord Krishna is saying that the best practice to control your mind is engage your mind in thinking about me. And how can you do that? So one method I said is, what did I say just now? Reading Bhagavad Gita, one shloka every day. Is that right? What other way you can do? How can you think of Krishna other way? By serving, yes, by serving, by making prasadam, right? Other way?
Chanting the
Chanting the mantras. Mantra. Have you heard the word mantra? What is the word mantra means? What is the meaning of the word mantra? Have you heard the word mantra before? What is the meaning of the word mantra? I said man plus tra. Huh? Mind. Man means, and what is tra means? Man means what? Tra means what? Control, focus. Huh? Tra means to liberate or free. Huh? Man means mind, and tra means to liberate your mind or to deliver your mind or free your mind. That is tra. So mantra is the word which helps your mind to be free. Free from what? Thoughts. Mind has function of what? Thinking, feeling, and willing. These are the three functions of mind. What is that? Thoughts. In a day, they say in your mind, how many thoughts come? How many thousand? According to some scientific papers, it says 60,000 thoughts cross your mind every single day. I just say day, not night. So in the night also your mind has another 60,000. So how many thousand thoughts you have? 120,000 thoughts. It's crazy, right? Mind is like that. Mind is just like a monkey. It starts here and then jumps to the next thought and the next thought and next thought. What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? Especially when you go to the shopping mall. Imagine you're buying the clothes or jewelry or something, and your mind gives you a hard time, which is good, this is not, then you wear it and then you put it back. Is that right? You go to buy the glasses, have the same problem, which is good, which is not. Is that right? In the life, mind has lots of thoughts. So every time you have problem. But how about if you have only one thought? How about that? It's easy, right? Mind will give you confusion when you have multiple thoughts. But if you have only one thought, what is the one thought? Krishna. Yeah? So if my life has only one thought to please Krishna, then I have less other thoughts. Then I will be stress free. Mind will be stressed out when there are multiple thoughts in your mind. You have to do this, you have to do that. Confusion, right? But if all the thoughts we combine together and put into one thought, what is that thought? A mantra. So that will deliver or liberate your mind. And that mantra is this mantra. Huh? श्री श्री गौरनिताय की जय, श्री श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जी की जय, श्री श्री राधा व्रजवत्सल की जय, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ श्री श्री बलदेव सुभद्रा माता की जय, श्री गिरिराज धरण की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, हिताय गौर प्रेमानंद हरि। So in the olden times, the sages give you these words, these letters, which are called mantras. Why mantras are given? So that you can bring your mind to one thought rather than worrying about too many thoughts. So when you are doing the mantra, then you take a beat, for example, Japamala. We have Japamala here, and you take the mala, and here is it's like a counter, counters. We count it. So there are mechanical counters also, and then this is the original counter. Original counter is uh, they made this out of wood. These beads are made up of tulsi, and then they pass the thread, and then these are 108. It's an auspicious number. So then you each bead you chant one time, and that's how you keep the count of the mantras. The idea of this count is that it takes around say 8 minutes, and the idea is that you focus your mind on this mantra for 8 to 10 minutes. So wherever your mind is running around, just bring it to one thought. Idea is that remove the confusion. Out of 60,000 thoughts, merge into one thought. That's a really good art, right? But it's easy when you practice it with emotions. When emotions are involved, then your japa becomes really nice. So how do you do the japa? So you do japa. When you do the japa, you think that you are with Lord Krishna himself at this time, because the name itself is not different than Krishna. And then you do this, close your eyes and say, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Like that, you do the japa. It takes around 8 to 10 minutes, depending upon how frequent you do it. And it brings your mind to one focus, one attention. It's a practice. Now, there are various meditation techniques. There's a thing called as meditation and there's called japa. What is the difference? So, meditation is you need something external, like people have this light or musical instrument or sound vibration or something like that. But japa means you produce the sound from your own self, and then you either meditate in your mind, Hare Krishna in your mind, or you can little loudly you can do japa. But these mantras are given to us by the Upanishads or Vedas. You know, these mantras are not given by like a ordinary people like all of us. These are given by sages thousands and thousands of years back, and they have a potency. There are different mantras, like the mantra which I gave you. This is Maha Mantra. Then there is a Gayatri mantra. You know Gayatri mantra? Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya. This mantra is a Gayatri mantra, very powerful mantra, which is given by Vedas. Then there is Om Namah Shivaya. Have you heard this mantra before? And then Mahamrutyunjay mantra. There are different mantras. These mantras are the sacred sound syllables which are combined and given to us for our benefit. So people do mantras, and then the scientists were wondering why people are doing these mantras. Because mantras have effect not only on your mind, but it has effect on your body also. And then I did some research on this, and there is a effect of mantra on the body. And there's an article. There are many articles published in the journals, but this is from BMJ, British Medical Journal. It's a very popular journal. And this is the picture which I have taken from this scientific publication, where they studied the effect of mantra on the blood pressure, on the heart rate, on the respiratory rate, and on the transcranial blood flow. So you can see that on the right is the mantra, people practicing the mantra, and on the left, people do not practicing the mantra. And the difference you can see is the the spontaneous breathing is very fast. You see that? While the people who do the regular mantra meditation, their breathing is equally distributed. And then the respiratory interval is also prolonged in the people who practice the mantra meditation, while the respiratory rate is very fast in the people who do not. Then blood pressure is also lower, balanced. Here you see that. And the most important I wanted your attention is the last graph. You see the last graph? It shows the larger peaks here. Let me use my laser pointer here. Here. You see that this one? And this is very small peaks. What is this? This is the transcranial blood flow. So people who do meditation, their flow to the brain is really good, like a high amount of blood flows. While people who do not practice these mantras, their transcranial blood flow is very little, which means that your alertness, your brain function is more if you regularly practice mantras. That is what I wanted to highlight through this publication. So you can practice different types of mantras. As I said, there is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, there is a Gayatri mantra, this is Mahamrutyunjay mantra, this is Shanti mantra, this is Upanishad mantra, like that. However, there are rules and regulations for mantras. You just cannot randomly start doing it at any time. For Gayatri mantra, what is the rule regulation? So you have to get up early in the morning before the sunrise, actually, 1.5 hours. So that is like a Brahma Muhurta. Then you take a shower. Then you have to have a Yagnopavit Sanskar, which means you need to have a guru. Guru has to give you this mantra. You just can't take it from the internet and start doing it. And then you have to face the east direction. And there's the rules and regulations for Gayatri mantra. And similarly for all the mantras, there are rules and regulations. But for the Kali Yuga, this current age is called Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga, what is the quality of people? People are lazy, they get up late, right? They never get up 4:30. Never. Right? And then half of the time they sleep at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Then their dietary habits are not controlled. And then most of the important thing is people don't have even time. Is that right? I do have all time. We are all busy, right? So for this Kali Yuga, there is a Upanishad mantra which is called Kalisantra Upanishad. And this mantra which I am demonstrating here is taken from Kalisantra Upanishad. So which is called Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is the mantra recommended for the current time. Why? Because there are no rules and regulations for this mantra. This mantra you can do without shower also. You can do it while taking shower also. You can do while walking also. You can do while bicycling also, while driving also. You can do it any time because this mantra has all the potencies of all the different mantras, specially designed for this current age where our life is very short. Like in the previous ages, when the people used to chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevai, they used to do chanting for like years and years and years together, right? And then they used to get the benefit of that mantra. But our life is uncertain in the Kali Yuga. When we will die, we don't know. So Kali Yuga, previously people used to live long life. According to Vedas, in Satyuga people used to live thousands of years. And then the lifespan start reducing and then it came to hundreds of years. So current age, our life is very short. So in this age, whatever little time we have, if we chant this mantra, we'll get the benefit of all the sacrifices of previous yugas, like Sati Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga. They used to do different sacrifices, yagnas, charities. But all these benefits, if you want to get it in one, then this is from the Upanishad, which is this mantra is called Maha Mantra, right? So what is recommended in this practice is that we can chant this mantra at any place, any time. There is no rules and regulations. Only thing is that we need to do it with dedication or sincerity. So we have to make a rule in our life that okay, every day I will start with like say 5 minutes or one round. It's basically. So this is the Tulsi Mala bead, and you can hold it like in the middle finger and the thumb. This is the process. You hold it with middle finger and thumb, and then rest it with the little finger, and then slide on each bead. You see that? So you chant one rhyme, second, third, fourth, like that. On each bead you chant one mantra, right? So you can make a rule in your life, like one thing that every day morning before I go to work, I will spend 10 minutes of chanting this mantra and reading one shloka of Bhagavad Gita. If you make this happen, then it is just like samadhi. Because what happens is that when you have this thought of Bhagavad Gita in your mind and you begin your day with mantra, then whole day that remains with you. You know. So you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And wherever you go, and then you finish one round on the bead, then you keep the bead at home, and like say you are sitting in the bus, you either meditate on the shloka or chant the mantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. You are cooking, what do? You chant on the mantra. You are bicycling, you chant on the mantra. So this way, 24/7, 365 days a year, you are in samadhi. Is that right? And that is the easiest process of uniting with Krishna. That is called yoga. Yoga means uniting, and you can unite with Krishna. So Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yogi nam api sarvesham mata gantentar atmana. So those who unite with me is always best yogi. And that is the easiest process of yoga. There is no other process of yoga as simple and as easy as bhakti yoga. And that is where Lord Krishna is saying, bhajate. You see that word bhajate? Huh? Bhajate means to do bhakti, bhajan karna. And that is where Lord Krishna introduces bhakti now. With this shloka, then Krishna explains bhakti yoga from chapter number 7 to 12. So, your homework for you for the next week is the revised 5th and 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. You can present, but most important than that is that if you can practice this, two methods which I told you. One is reading one shloka of Bhagavad Gita every day, and second thing is chant one round of japa. If you do not have these japa beads, then we do have a beads here. I'm not marketing anything, I'm not selling anything because somebody might think that is making money out of it, but no, this is not that. But it is very important that we start training our mind, because training our mind is very important. It becomes your enemy. And how do you train your mind? Practice. Lord Krishna says Swadhyaya and Vairagya. These are the two things. And how do you practice? So practice starts with first following the rule. So you take the japa bead and make your mind chant one round, 10 minutes. Make monkey sit down for 10 minutes. Because monkeys can be trained, right? So you may, if your mind is running away, what do you do while doing japa? Then Lord Krishna says, what is that Lord Krishna is saying? Lord Krishna is saying, Yato yato nischalati manaschanchalam asthiram tatastato niyama etad atmani eva vasamnait. From wherever the mind wanders due to flickering nature and unsteady nature, one must withdraw it and bring it back under the control of the self. So when you are doing the japa in the morning, try this, it will happen. After a few minutes, then your mind will start thinking, what is my work today, what assignments I have to do, or something like that. Your mind will start running. But Lord Krishna, yato yato. Wherever mind goes, what do? Tato tato, bring it back. Yato yato tato tato. Yato yato tato tato. Make the monkey sit for 10 minutes. Can you do that? Can you make monkey sit for 10 minutes? What is the monkey here referring to? Mind. So everybody has a monkey inside, right? So to make monkey sit for 10 minutes. Can we all do it? Do you want to do it? Yes or no? Yes? Yes? You want to do it? How about you, Prabhuji? How about you? So let's all, we'll say that we will chant one round at least every day. Can you all take a vow? Take a vow? You're taking a vow with the sad face? With the smiley face? What is the vow we are taking? Okay, you repeat and you say and we all repeat, okay? Okay, let's raise our hands. Okay, you say, you raise your hand also. Okay, you take a vow. What is that? I will chant one round of, I don't see Natasha speaking. I will chant one round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day. Thank you so much. Okay. So this is one round means 108 times. Okay. So those who do not have the beads, come and see me. I will give you. You can give some donation to the temple if you like, and then take the beads because you will need something for counting, right? 108 times. So today, before you go, after taking prasadam, take the mala. I'm not selling it to you. You take it with you, and then whenever you feel like, not now also, after 2 years, 5 years, whenever you feel like, you can give donation to Krishna. But why we need the japamala? Because why do you need japamala? Because you have taken a vow, right? Is it right? You vowed in front of Krishna, right? So we all have taken a vow. So vows are supposed to be taken to follow, right? Not to break, right? So we all will do that. And next time when we come, then we'll chant the mantra together. Okay. So next time when you come, you bring Bhagavad Gita and the Japamala which I'm going to give you today. So you have two things to bring every time. Is it okay? Thank you so much. Huh? Hare Krishna. We'll take the prasadam now. Okay? Hare Krishna. Join us for the prasadam. Thank you. Any questions? Anybody has? Prabhuji, you have any question? How about you? All good?
How do
Yes.
we find all the rules for the mantras?
Mantras.
How do we find all the rules?
Which mantra you want to say?
Well, I'm thinking about the Gayatri, and then the other one was like.
So, say Gayatri mantra. I said first rule is that you have to wake up every day morning 4:30. Second rule is you have to take a shower. Third thing is you have to have initiation by a guru. A guru has to initiate you, has to give you a diksha, and he has to give you Gayatri mantra. And then, according to Guru's instruction, then you follow the Gayatri mantra.
A lot of people sing these mantras.
Yeah, singing is different. Like I can sing anything, but to get benefit of it, you need to process the mantra. So mantras have rules. You just can't take, like say, somebody has a heart disease. I can't give him antibiotic. I have to give him the medicine to control the heart rate or the blood pressure. Somebody has a bacterial infection. I cannot give him antiviral drugs. I have to give him antibiotics to kill that particular bacteria.
Chanting.
So every mantra has a utility, and like this is a medicine, you know. Every medicine has particular. You cannot give like a medicine for malaria to a patient with jaundice. The patient will have more jaundice. The liver will fail. So you have to have a proper medicine for proper this thing.
Because
So.
I've been at kirtans where we're singing all of
Uh-huh.
these mantras.
Yeah, so that's what kirtan is also like singing mantras, but it is not what it is meant to be. You know, you can prepare a recipe in any way, but what is the proper recipe is different, right? So that is what it is all about. So this is a science. Mantra is a science, and you have to do it properly to get proper benefits. So if you really want to chant, then this is the mantra, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which is recommended for the Kali Yuga. This is from the Upanishad, which is called Kali Santra Upanishad. Yes, you have question. Yes. Yes, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya is also the same thing. It is the mantra which is recommended for Satyuga actually. And Dhruva Maharaj used to chant in the Satyuga, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. When his Guru Narad Muni, actually, if you know the whole Katha, Narad Muni, when Dhruva Maharaj, when he was going in the forest to look for Lord Vishnu, then Narad Muni stopped him. And he said, "Where are you going, little boy?" You know the story? No? I will tell you. Okay. So this little boy was humiliated by his uh, father and mother, stepmother. So then he went to his own mother and said, "They humiliated me. So what should I do?" So mother says, "Only Lord God can help you. Krishna can help you." So he asked mother, "Where is Krishna?" So mother says, "Usually all the sages go into jungle to find Krishna." So this little boy took it literally. And in the morning, before everybody get up, he left the home and he started going in the forest by himself. And then on the way he meets Guru, Narad Muni. Narad Muni says, "Hey little boy, where are you going in the jungle? Animals will kill you." He said, "I'm not worried about any animal." He said, "I just want to get Krishna." He said, "But Krishna is very difficult to find like that." He said, "No, I will find it. If you can help me, help me. If not, then don't waste my time." So Narad Muni, seeing the determination of this little boy, he said, "I'm going to give you a mantra. But this mantra has to be practiced very strictly, 24 by 7, then only you can see Krishna." He said, "No worry, I will do it." So he gave him Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And Dhruva, for 6 months, without eating, sleeping, no other entertainment, nothing, just closing his eyes and Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, for 6 months, and he saw Krishna face to face. So Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva has this rule. If you really want the benefit of it, you have to stop all the process and just focus on that mantra. Can we do that? It's impossible. Right? So for us, doing our daily activities and focusing our mind on Krishna, and not only this mantra is impactful, it has been proven impactful. You know, there are many people like Prabhupada ji conquered the whole world based on this mantra. The people who were drug addicts or who were addicted to wrong things, they all gave up their habit just because of The power of mantra, actually. George Harrison, everybody knows George Harrison? Huh? Beatles. George Harrison, when he heard this mantra, he got attracted and he said, "Oh, who is singing this mantra?" And then he produces the album called "Oh My Sweet Lord." And he sang this mantra. So this mantra has created a revolution in many people's lives. So I think it's worth giving a try, right? So maybe you want to give a try for say 1 month, and if it doesn't work, then what do you do? Stop it. It's simple, right? Did I charge you anything? No. So there is no point in losing, right? Anything. So you give at least a try for 1 month this mantra, right? Every day morning before you go to work, chant the mantra on the beads, right? And everybody get a separate bead, and then try it. If not, then after month, what 1 month, what you do? Stop and return the beads back to me. Is that all right? Okay, I'm just kidding. Don't worry about it. But let's do. Okay, so let's go for prasadam, and we'll talk while taking prasadam. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Any other questions? If you have any questions, we'll talk in prasadam then. Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.